Do you know how you plan out things and sometimes they really don't work out? Yes, hello everybody, how the devil are you? I am back again. It didn't hit until we finished today. Today was our last shift before lockdown 2.0 started, and now my body has decided that you're finished, you're gonna feel ill. So I do apologise in this video about wellness, physical wellness, and making sure you're well throughout the scare period whilst being unwell. But we're going to roll with the punches, okay? So yes, this is the final video out of this series. The scare season is over. It is now November the 4th, either November the 3rd or the 4th. I'm not gonna lie, I literally got in from work on the 31st. There was an Animal Crossing Halloween event on. I had to get my decorations, you feel me. I only had half an hour to do it, so it was either get all my Animal Crossing stuff or record, and my priorities are out the window. So I chose the Animal Crossing instead. So I will be talking about different things, be talking about do's and don'ts, like I said in the previous video, which I said that I would do an ending to, but I never did. I'm very sorry about that. Anyway, I digress. So I was going to wear like some really nice gothic clothes, a nice change from what I've been wearing for the past month. And it got really cold, so you're just going to have to put up with Army of Darkness for this one, I'm afraid. And I'm probably going to get loads of people being like, you're claiming to be goth and you're not dressing like a goth. Well, I'm a performer most of the time, and a lot of the clothes I do have are for summer. I don't have a lot of winter wear in my gothic wardrobe at the moment, which I am planning to change. I've seen a few coats that I really want on EMP, but we shall see. So yes, I'm fully aware that I'm not fully kitted out in all my gothery. However, I'm a performer, I'm poor, and I'm really cold, so you're gonna have to deal with it. So yes, without further ado, let's get into it. First thing I want to talk about is the fact that this has been a process. It's been a big process. I started out this whole video series with intentions, with plans. So first of all, we're going to talk about what worked. Let me tell you, the rice packets that I'm not sure if I did or I didn't show you in the first video, they were a godsend. They were an absolute godsend. So I got 7 to last me the week. I did have to do a shop halfway through the run to get more supplies. They were still 32 pence a packet, which was amazing. It really was. It was really good quality rice as well. It tasted lovely. I had the I think it's basmati rice. It was like the plain rice, but it still tasted really good. And particularly halfway through the day when you just want something warm to keep you going, it really helped me. So I would 100% recommend that. Having fruit and veg, that worked massively as well. I know a lot of people that can go through Scarefest just by eating sweets and drinking fizzy drinks. I will tell you honestly now, it is not sustainable. It is, your body will hate you for it. It really will. Yes, I know that kind of monster might look tempting in the beginning, but then you have one and then you crash. And then you want another one, and then you crash. Do you see what I mean? I noticed that the people who drank water more than fizzy drinks had a much more positive mindset throughout the whole experience. So please do consider, if you are a massive energy drink consumer, please consider maybe getting more water into your diet before the scare season starts. Canister, my big canister that I showed you as well, that was also a godsend. it just made me feel really nice and warm, particularly if I was in a cold part of the attraction. I need to be as warm as possible, and it filled my stomach nicely. I didn't feel hungry, and it really helped my throat as well. So like I said in the first video, please fill a canister with maybe a satchel of Lemsip, juice and warm water. Juice and warm water is so nice. Sounds a bit weird, but when you get into it, it is lovely. Do be careful with things like milk and hot chocolate, because it will coat your vocal cords, and ideally you want your vocal cords to be as open and as fresh and as lubricated as possible without coating them, because you'll find you have to push more sound out and it will wreck your vocal cords. Thermals, absolutely. My thermals from B&M, they were amazing again. My socks were a godsend. I didn't get any holes in them. I did have to ask the costume department to give me bigger shoes just to accommodate for them, but apart from that, they were absolutely fine. Anything else? The exercise. How could I forget about the exercise? So as you guys know from the first part of this video series, I worked out practically every day. So I would do aerobics and I would do weight training, and let me tell you, I have not suffered once with my knees, with my ankle. My ankle did give me a little bit of jip towards the end of the run, just because the cold started to set in a little bit, and unfortunately I do have a fractured ankle, so the cold does go in between some of the bone fragments, and it just makes it really, really uncomfortable for me. So please, if you do have any fractured bones, maybe get a support. You can get them from anywhere. You can get them from Boots, you can get them from Superdrug, you can get them from any of your supermarkets. Price does vary, but I would say the more expensive ones you get, the better quality they will be. Unfortunately, it's not a cheap job, and if you do get the more expensive ones, they will last you 100%. If you do need those supports, please wear them, because they will help you so much. What we would have to do is we would have to do a show, get the guests out, clean, and then do it all over again. Now, if I'd have gone into it without looking after my body at all, without exercising at all, I would not have lasted. I wouldn't have lasted. I did do the full 17-day run straight. I even said to my show captain and attraction manager, if they needed to be on more intense rolls, I would happily do it, just because I felt that confident in my body's ability to carry on. So I fully recommend maybe a month or two beforehand, if you know you're going to go into this type of work, or if you are a veteran and you find that you do start to struggle a little bit towards the end, I implore you, maybe do Joe Wicks is a good one. Joe Wicks is a really good one. I will put some links down below into YouTubers, fitness YouTubers I do follow. So now we're going to talk about the things that didn't work. It's only a short segment, so don't worry about it. The things that didn't work: trying to prepare a salad for a main meal. That's the main thing I would say did not work out for me at all. I feel incredibly foolish that at the start of this process I believed that I could just get away with having a salad as a main meal. It's not doable. I felt awful. I was on a quite demanding roll one day, and I had just had the salad as my main meal, and I was not. No, I was really, I was ratty, I was agitated, I was tired. So instead I swapped that out for having my rice as my main meal, and then having my salads as like snack boxes, so I just graze on them instead, and that felt so much better. Don't use the Halloween season to deprive yourself of those necessary nutrients, calories, carbs, whatever you want to call them. Don't deny your body that, because it is so important to give your body the right things during this time period. Otherwise, you ain't gonna make it. And after I realised that, I quickly changed it, and it felt so much better. So I feel like that was the only thing that didn't really work out. I can't say that the rest, everything else that I put into place and said that I would do, no. So realistically, I'd call this a pretty successful scare season. I'm actually really proud of myself for it. So now we're going to go into the top 10s. So I've compiled a list of top 10 things to do when you're going to go into scare acting, and top 10 things you shouldn't do. Like I said before, they're not built-in importance, they're just things that myself and Gareth thought of that may help you out. Number 1, teamwork. What I mean by that is, in a lot of scare mazes, you will have rooms that require more than one person. So it is so important, before you start your shift, maybe chat through a few ideas with the person you're going to be sharing that room with. You can get some brilliant scares when you've got 2 people working together who have got such a good chemistry and such a good dynamic. It is really fun to see people working together. I've been in scare attractions where I will be looking at someone, so they will be the distraction, and then I will get an impact scare from somebody else, and I will drop. Honestly, I will drop. I am horrendous in scare attractions, which is funny because I work in them. Also, teamwork in the sense of you're all in the same boat. When you do get into the scare season, you kind of become a little family, which is the cutest thing ever. We had such a good family dynamic this year, and it's just a case of being there for each other. Sometimes you will notice that people are having down days, and that's okay. It's okay to let them have that down day, but it's also okay to let them know that you're there. 9 times out of 10 they will really appreciate it, and if they need someone to talk to, they will probably talk for you. Okay, so number 2, ask questions. Absolutely ask questions. Like I said, when I first started doing this, I didn't ask questions because I was very quiet. I was very self-conscious. I was embarrassed to ask questions, and because of that, I didn't really reach my full potential for a good, 2 years, and then by the 3rd year, I was considered one of the senior actors, and people were asking me questions. It's like, hang on a minute, I don't know what I'm doing here, so you really shouldn't be asking me. Apparently I do know what I'm doing because this is my 9th year doing it. Yes, 100% ask questions. Ask questions about operations of the scare maze. Ask questions about your character, what your character's intentions are. The best example I can give, when I was in a scare maze last year, I was blind. I was an infected blind creature, and it was all about intention. So, you know, when you're going through a scare maze and obviously a scare actor will come up to you, but then they have to have an intention as to why they leave you alone. Do you get what I mean? Because in a realistic situation, if you're in that kind of situation and someone's coming after you, like a psycho clown or something, they're going to want to kill you. But you need to have that common knowledge of what is your intention, of why you're not killing that guest. Do you get what I mean? I'm not trying to make a training video for serial killers, I swear. So yes, it is so important to ask questions. Even just simple things like makeup. Makeup is such a big thing. I struggled with a few characters with their makeup, and so I would ask people what they would recommend, and lo and behold, you learn things. You absolutely do learn things, and you keep those things you've learned with you for a very long time. Number 3, I think we're on. Stay motivated. Stay motivated. It's very easy to come in and you're tired, it's halfway through the run, your energy levels are starting to kind of dip. It's very easy to not be motivated. To be motivated is such an incredible skill, and if you can do that, you pretty much nailed it. Also, people feed off your energy. People will absolutely feed off your energy. So if you can stay motivated when maybe somebody's having a bad day, they will be motivated as well. And then that can switch over. So when you're having a bad day, they can motivate you. It's a chain reaction. It's a knock-on effect, essentially. Scare mazes, scare actors feed off each other's emotions and intentions and motivations, and it is such a magical thing to be a part of. So if you can be that motivated person, great. Find ways to motivate yourself. Maybe give yourself intentions. They're show captains. They will be in charge of motivating the cast before they go out to scare. So you might notice that a lot with warm-up exercises, pep talks as well. So you might notice a lot of that going on. Number 4, warm up. Oh my gosh. Warm up. Warm up mentally, warm up physically, and warm up vocally. If you do not warm up, it's not good. It is not good. A lot of the time, if you don't warm up and you do a quick action, it can jar your shoulder or it can jar your leg. If you're turning your head quite a lot, quite frantically. I've got makeup on my hair. Yes, if you're doing jarring movements and you have not warmed up your muscles, chances are you're going straight to pulling your muscles. Worst case scenario, dislocation. It's so important to look after your body. It's so important to look after your voice. I don't fully recommend it, but if you're going to be screaming for the whole night and you have not warmed up, you are not going to have a voice the next day. And if you're doing that on the first day of a 2-week run, you ain't gonna last. So please warm up. I will be doing another video about vocal exercises, maybe some physical exercises, depending on how long my sports bra holds out for. Number 5, I would say keep yourself full. It's so important to plan your meals. If you're going to eat something before your event starts, or if you're going to plan your meals throughout your breaks whilst you're at that event. People have heard of the fabled word hangry. I have experienced hangry firsthand. My partner has experienced hangry firsthand because I've been hangry, and my God, it is the worst feeling in the world. You will get angry, you'll start taking it out on the guests, and it is not a good thing to do. So please make sure you eat your food. I can just imagine next year, when hopefully all of this blows over, all of these new actors starting out and them all just being incredibly hangry and fires just starting everywhere. And I don't know why that's funny, but it really is. You gotta listen to your body. Please don't just live off rubbish foods. Don't do that. So please stay full. Number 6, we are going on to staying hydrated. My God, I cannot stress how important it is for you to stay hydrated. Like I said, one of these bottles, 1.75, I will get through one of them every hour and a half. These last 2 days that I was at work Monday and today, And I didn't drink a lot. I don't know why I didn't do it, but I suffered so badly for it, and I was just doing normal hours. So please, please, please drink your water. If you run out of water, don't be afraid to get into contact with your show captain or whoever's in charge of your maze. Let them know that you need another drink, because they will completely understand and want you to stay hydrated and look after yourself. So please drink your damn water. Number 7, don't be afraid to try new things first hand. For the first time, it's a new thing anyway, it really is. So what I would suggest, if this is your first time going into scare performing, try and pick up the basics. Learn the basics before you try anything convoluted, because there is nothing worse than having this whole convoluted plan in your head and then trying to execute it and it doesn't work the way you wanted it to. It doesn't give the impact that you want to give to your guests. So please, 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 just learn the basics. Chances are you will be doing a couple of workshops before your scare event starts, just to get you to grips with the kind of character you'll be playing, movements, vocal work as well. So just stick with that for your first year. Just learn your basics, and then maybe 2 or 3 years after you've been doing it for a while, yeah, absolutely try new things. But if you can find little things that you can do to spice up those scares and those impacts, I guarantee you it will be so much fun, okay? So yeah, just think outside the box and you will have a lot of fun with it. And who knows, you might even get a veteran coming up to you and be like, hang on a minute, that was really good, I want to do that. How'd you do that? Well, I thought outside the box because Lucifer told me to. Number 8, keep warm. Keep warm. But if you're outside, you need to be wearing your thermals. Yes, it might start out quite warm at the start of the run because it's just finished being September, but it will go cold very, very, very fast. I was wearing all my thermals by the end of it, bar my gloves, because I could only put them on between groups. Yes, it's a very strange seasonal change, the scare season, and a lot of vets will agree. The first couple of days you're doing it, you could be sweltering, it can be so hot, but then towards the end of it, it's freezing. Your toes are threatening to fall off and leave for Florida or something. So please, please stay warm. Number 9, positive attitude. It's easier said than done. I will admit, I have had a few days where I've just woken up, and this is how I explain it to everybody, because unfortunately I do suffer with my mental health. I will wake up and my brain will decide that I'm not going to have a good day and I'm going to be sad sometimes, and that's okay, because it's a case of I've accepted it, work with it and get on with it. You know, you're allowed to feel sad, you're allowed to have your negative emotions. Having a positive attitude, it is so infectious. If somebody else is having a bad day and your positive vibes kind of, you know, emanate off you, they might not feel so bad. So please, 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 some days it will be hard to have a positive attitude. Some days you might just be having a bad day, but you know, Halloween isn't for long. I mean, yes, Halloween is every single day of the year for me, but my point is, your scare acting, depending on what scare event you're with, you might not be doing it for long. So make the most of it and just have fun. Number 10, have fun. Absolutely have fun. Scare acting is pretty hard to do. It is really hard. You know, if you've got the knack for it, congratulations. If you're a natural at it, not everybody has got that knack for it, unfortunately. So, you know, if you've been handpicked to go and do these things, then have fun with it. Make new friends, make new experiences, have the best time scaring the leavings out of people. I'm trying to be PG. I'm trying to be so PG. Yes, please, please, please have fun. Please enjoy scaring people. It is such a good experience, and it's such a fun thing to do, you know. It is honestly one of the best things you will ever do. It's one of the best experiences you will ever have. So please, absolutely have fun, and you will enjoy it, okay? And before you know it, it will be over. So make the most of it, my guys. We're now moving into top 10 things you should not do. Again, I've spoken to Gareth about this, and he 100% agrees about these. So, number 1, don't live off takeaway, fast foods, greasy foods, sweets and fizzy drinks. You will not last long. And I keep slapping my notepad because that's how serious I am about this. I'm sorry, Betty Book. It's called Betty Book. I don't know why. So, number 2, which is on the flip side of that, but not really, don't starve yourself. Do not starve yourself. Do not think when you get there and you've forgotten to bring your sandwich or your food, oh, it's okay, it's fine, it's just X amount of hours, I'll be okay. No, you won't. This is Mama Lou coming out now. No, you won't. Inform your show captain, inform your attractions manager that you may not have any food, and chances are they will sort it out for you. Throughout my whole experience as a scare actor, wherever I've been, if I have not had substantial enough food, my higher ups will help me. You'll get hungry, you'll get tired. Worst case scenario, because you're so hungry, you will get really, really poorly and you will start to black out. I've seen it happen before. I've heard about it happening before. It is scary. It's very, very scary when someone has not looked after themselves. It's such a scary experience. Please don't be the one that does that. Everyone is out to look after you and make sure you're okay. So please make sure you look after yourselves, guys. From one vet to a beginner, another vet, someone who's just watching this because they want to, because they're sat on the toilet and they don't know what else to watch. Please do not starve yourself. Number 3, don't put yourself in harm's way. It's easier than you think to do. So one of the reasons you might do that is because you might have a difficult guest and they might be threatening to be violent and you're egging them on. That is the worst thing you can do. The best thing you can do if you're in that situation is remove yourself from it. Put your hands up in the air, show that you're not a threat, and worst case scenario, please speak to your show captain or your attractions manager because they will make sure you're okay 100%, but please do not put yourself in harm's way. That also includes if you are going to try a more intense scare and using, I don't know, jumping or climbing. 1, if your attractions manager has told you not to, don't, because it is a health and safety hazard. And 2, you've got to ask yourself, is it really worth it? Your health and safety is far more important than making someone feel like they're in the middle of Night of the Living Dead, you know? At the end of the day, you're just acting. You're not actually a mindless creature that's lost all sensory capability of knowing what your body's capable of, okay? So please just be sensible with that. I've forgot what number I'm on. I am on number 4. So number 4, don't be afraid to be silly. If you're first trying this out, chances are it's something you've never done before and you are going to feel silly and you might be looking at some other people like, why are you doing this? And you're going to end up being like that person. Something may look silly, but when you do them, they are horrifying to guests. Absolutely horrifying. If you're a clown, if you're going to be a clown in a scare maze, that's one of the best times to not be afraid to be silly. People are absolutely terrified of clowns on the best days. It's the same as don't be afraid to try new things. It's just that big brick wall that you just got to punch your way through, and once you have, it opens up so many options for you. I remember in my first year that I started scare acting, I was a walkabout character for my first night, and I wore a white dress, and I had someone's like a fake face sticking out of my stomach. I never felt so stupid in all my life. But when I kind of just let go towards the end of the night, that's when I got some of my best scares. So please don't be afraid to be silly. Absolutely do not be afraid to be silly, because it will reap the best results, I promise you. Number 5, so it's going to correlate with number 3. Don't stray from direction. It's a health and safety hazard. If you've been directed to do a certain scene a certain way, or been given ideas or suggestions about how to do that scene, if something hasn't been suggested and you're thinking about it, so maybe like jumping from something, maybe think about why it hasn't been suggested. It genuinely might be a health and safety reason why you can't do that. So please, please, please do not stray from direction. My best recommendation, when you first get a character, look at it, maybe look at if there's any descriptions about the character, any backstory about the character. Maybe ask your show captain or your attraction manager about the character, what their intentions are, just so you can make your character be the best it can be, okay? See, it's really weird because I also said don't be afraid to try new things. If you're in a room and you're so used to doing a scare from one place and you're looking at another place and thinking, that'd be a really good place to do a scare, but I'm too frightened to do it and it's out of my comfort zone. That's kind of what I mean in that sense. So number 6 is don't deprive yourself of sleep. Don't think just because if you've got like a 5 o'clock in the afternoon start and you finish at 9 o'clock, don't think you can stay awake until 3 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. Your body is so precious, and if you treat your body well, it will treat you well. So please make sure you are getting enough sleep. They say 8 to 9 hours is the best amount of sleep you can get. Please make sure you're getting enough sleep. If you're not, your scares will go downhill, your response time will go downhill as well. So if you are faced with a very difficult and potentially aggressive guest and your response time is out of whack, not so good. So if anything, it's for your health and safety. Number 7, don't be afraid to have a bad day. Nobody wants negative vibes in a scare maze. Nobody wants it. But unfortunately, we are very sensitive creatures. We are people. We have things that happen in our lives, suffer from mental health, this, that and the other. So that kind of thing may impact your day, and just let it happen. If you need to get those negative emotions out, if you need a day to just maybe be on your own, just have a quiet day, then absolutely take that day to yourself. Self-care is so important. So please don't burn yourself out. The worst thing you can do is burn yourself out. So please look after yourself. Please, if you do suffer from your mental health, know how far you can go with certain situations. So I'm quite a social person. I like to think I can hold a good conversation with someone for quite a while. However, if there's a lot of people in the room at the same time and everyone's talking over each other, I can get quite overwhelmed by that. So I have learned, if I start to feel overwhelmed, to just remove myself from the situation. It's not because I'm being rude, it's because it's self-preservation, and I will just go to somewhere quiet. So make sure you have your coping mechanisms in place. If you're having a bad day, know what the signs are for an oncoming bad day and know how to deal with that situation. You can also let your show captains know, you can also let your attraction managers know, so they can also look out for the signs if you may have missed them. It's so important to have that support system in place. So yeah, as long as you can support that person, and on the flip side, as long as you can ask for support and know how to support yourself, you're going to have an absolutely fabulous time. Number 8, which is also a flip of that, don't dwell on negative things. You go out and scare somebody and you put a lot of effort into that scare. You think, yeah, that was really great. And they're just looking at you like, yeah, and that's not your fault. It's not. Unfortunately, people are going to be desensitized to it, and some people are just there to have a wander through and have a good time. But don't take that negative experience with you. It happened, let it go, and then have that fresh experience waiting for you when the next group is coming up, because they will more often than not have a completely different experience to what the people in front of them just had. If you have had a negative experience where maybe somebody's been a bit aggressive and the situation's been dealt with, it can't, torment you anymore. So acknowledge that it happened, but get rid of it. Number 9, don't be inappropriate. Don't be inappropriate at work. It's the same as any other workplace, really. I know that it's a different kind of situation and you are in a haunted house and you are meant to be these nasty, horrible characters, but you are also in a working environment. So please, please, please do not be inappropriate towards your co-workers, towards your show captains, your attractions managers. Don't be appropriate towards guests either, because it's just not the done thing. Be mindful. And number 10, do not suffer in silence. Never ever suffer in silence. If you have had an experience, whether it be at home, whether it be with your mental health, whether it be with a guest, whether it be with another co-worker, and it's left you shaken, it's left you not feeling great, please speak to somebody about it. Do not suffer in silence, because it will eat you up and it just won't make for a good scare season at all. You deserve so much better than that. Show captains and attractions managers are amazing to speak to. I have had the best experience with my show captains and attraction managers throughout the years. I've been incredibly lucky with the different teams I've worked with. I have had some pretty horrendous things happen to me in my life, but it's those people that made me feel comfortable and confident in the attractions I was working in, that made me want to carry on doing this. So please, please, please do not suffer in silence. If you ever need to speak to somebody, I would like to think that now that I've posted this out there, even if it's just a little mundane thing, even if it's just a little worry you've got, please just pop it in the comments. And more often than not, if somebody else who's had a similar experience and knows how to deal with it sees that comment, they will probably be able to answer your worry, or I can have a look at it and I can try and answer it for you. I've been in this business long enough. I've experienced near enough every single thing you can experience in a scare maze. If you ever need to speak to a veteran or a higher up, please, please, please speak out, okay? So much love on that one. That's the worst love heart I've ever done. There we go, that's better. So that is my top 10 do's and don'ts. I am probably going to do more bits and pieces in future videos about scare acting. I'd like to do one about my journey, what I've learnt in general over the 9 years. But this is it. This is it. What have we learned from this, kids? I have lost quite a bit of weight from starting this whole journey. This whole journey started in March for me personally. My waist went from being 40 inches to 29. So my waist is 29 inches now, and it's because of scare acting. I didn't want to give up something I loved. I really didn't. The thought of my knees and my legs giving out and me never being able to do this again crippled me that much that I changed my lifestyle for this. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. So this has been an experience and a growth for me. It can also be a starting guide for new actors who want to get into this. I am excited. So this is the first mini-series I have done. I'm probably going to want to revisit this in the future, maybe try this challenge again and see what happens. Oh my god, there's fireworks outside. I feel like an animal. I felt my bladder go into my stomach. Yes, so what's next for me? Well, I've got so many ideas of what I want to do with this channel. I want to grow it. I want to do crafting videos. So a lot of you will know that I do needle felting, which is basically needle felting little, see if I can, there we go. So I make little things like pumpkins and stuff. I am going to be opening my shop very, very soon. I know I keep saying it, I will, I promise. Where you can buy all the spooky things, because why should Halloween just be one time a year when it should be every day for the whole year? So if you want to support me with that, great. I will be doing tutorials on maybe making your own pumpkins and getting into needle felting. I also want to do a lot of things for charity as well. That's been one of the things I've wanted to do for my whole life. I want to get into doing writing, so writing my own little horror stories and ghost stories, maybe reading them to you guys. I want to potentially do Get Ready With Me. I want to take you on all the spooky adventures that we go on. Gareth also wants to do that as well. He wants to get back into vlogging, so hopefully we can do some couple vlogs. We're going to be doing Download next year. How exciting. We're doing RIP. Yes, there's a lot of amazing things that I'm going to do that's going to be coming up. I just want to do all the cool things, all the spooky things, and I want you guys to be along for the journey. So if you've got any ideas of things you'd like me to do, then I absolutely will. But for now, this has been my scare journey. Thank you so much, guys, for being a part of this. I can't thank you enough for being a part of this journey with me. But yeah, it's over and I can't wait to carry on this journey. So I'm very excited, guys. I hope you've had a good day. If not, that's okay, because tomorrow's a new day. And I will see you very soon, guys. Much love. Bye.